off the bat after, I think it may have been the Nebraska win, was that you really liked the team was showing a little more urgency. Going back to the game the other day, what did you kind of see in that vein? Did you feel that the team was playing with that same kind of urgency?
Well, I thought it started with Eric and Fats in terms of scoring the basketball. I thought Q and Julian did a really good job of playing interior post D, making catches tough for those talented players from Ohio State and pushing them off the block a little bit. And that gave us a chance to stay a little bit more connected to their shooters on the perimeter. And all that worked hand in hand. And then when, you get 50 points from your starting backcourt, that bodes well for you in terms of a lot of things working offensively. It just opened up a lot of different opportunities. I know Dante was the only other guy I believe we had in double figures, but when you get 64 from three, that's a pretty good number.
What has Eric meant to this team this year? I mean, it's your first season with him, but being a senior and having this night for him. What has he meant to you to have him as a leader on your team?
Eric is an old soul. I mean, all of you had a chance to spend some time with him, and he's got a gentle spirit about him, a kind spirit, and I really appreciated that, especially in this unique situation that we've all been in. He just comes out and he does what he does. Starting to be a little bit more vocal than he's been in the past, and I think that's the byproduct of it coming to an end. It's winding down for him, and he's a little bit more vocal. But for us, he's been a guy that's made shots. He's made tough shots. He leads us in made three-pointers. He figures out a way to be effective night in and night out, being at the top of other teams' scouting reports. And this is the first year that he's been there in terms of, making as many threes and scoring the ball the way that he's scoring it. So, he's had to go through some adjustments this year as well. But I'm thankful that he's on the team because, like I said, I feel a connection to him because of his soul and how he carries himself. And, he wants to help this team be successful.
Coach, you talk about assistant coach Brent, just everything the coaching staff has all had to go through his elevated role and what he's meant to the staff this season.
He's got a great opportunity. Not too many times you walk into a coaching staff and you get a dual role and you get to spread out and you get to put some things on your resume. So, Brent's done a really good job. Greg has been in a dual role. Chris has been in a dual role. We got a lot of people in dual roles right now. And all those guys have grabbed the bull by the horns and done the best they can and done a really good job, in my opinion, in terms of what we're asking them to do in all the roles and hats that they're wearing. So, for Brent, he just gets to voice a little bit more, if you will, from this position, not only of, being the film person for us, but also handling scouting and things, those types of responsibilities as assistant coach. So, I think it's been good for him. I think it's been good for Russ, and it's worked out well. So I just hope this is a situation that he can learn and grow from. And obviously you get a chance to put something different on your resume too when you wear a different hat.
Yeah, he's coached in a lot of different leagues, been here, whatever it is, 8 or 9 months. What's your assessment of this job, the potential of this program?
Every job has challenges that you have to navigate and go through. That's just kind of what college athletics is. And, for me, I've really enjoyed being in the area, just from the standpoint of the vast amount of things that you can do in this area, and not knocking college towns because I grew up in a college town, but I can't get lost at 6'11" and being black, but I can kind of blend in here a little bit more than I can in a few other places, so I've really appreciated that. But this job, you go back and you look at the history, you look at the tradition, great players, talented teams, great coaches, and I don't know what college athletics is going to look like down the road. Name, image, and likeness, right? NCAA, I couldn't tell you. But I think there's so many positives here that this is always going to be an attractive place to draw coaches to.
Coach Manning, how is Pablo doing off the court?
Turn those cameras off for me and I can talk to you
I guess we could do it after.
after. It's a tough situation. That's all I got for you on that one.
I mean, I get, okay. I mean, how much, I guess just a quick follow-up on that, like how much as a coach, a basketball coach, do you try to help him along in the situation?
You can't say much. What do you say to somebody who, when he's not on the basketball court with you, is watching bombs and missiles every day?
Danny, coming off the defensive effort against Ohio State, Minnesota comes into town, they shoot a ton of threes, quality and quantity. How's that going to challenge you guys defensively?
Well, they have a lot of guys that make three-pointers. They have two guys that make over 2 a game, and Battle and Peyton. And then they got a couple guys that make a little over 1 a game. So we've got to do a really good job of guarding the three-point line, contesting shots, and then when they shoot a lot of long jump shots, they're going to be long rebounds. So when a shot goes up, we can't put our head down and run into the paint because that ball hits the rim and caroms off, probably over your head back to them if you do that. So we have to understand getting long rebounds, and then for us, we have to do a really good job of taking care of the basketball because they take care of the basketball. And we have to throw the ball inside. They haven't played as many players as us in their rotation just based upon the minutes. Now that could change based on the game and things of that nature. So we want to continue to get paint touches. We want to play inside out and dictate the game from there.
Danny, it seems like this year is one where this part of the season could have gone really far south by now, and you guys have now won 3 across 4. I mean, what's the key to keeping the players engaged? And I mean, I know they want to win, but what's enabling you guys to be at this point?
Well, I think for me, just making sure that there's some type of connection with each guy, and sometimes it's the banner of conversation before practice, sometimes it's after, sometimes it's during, whether we're on road trips or whatever, just making sure that they understand for us it's bigger than basketball. And that's the general message that we try to share with them as a staff. Basketball is what it is in regards of, you're going to play games, you're going to practice and things of that nature. And yes, we've gone through some unique situations here this year, but at the end of the day, they know that we care about them as young people. And I think that goes a long ways.
Dan, you guys are coming off a big home win, ranked team, won 3 of the last 4. Fast is obviously playing lights out. How important is that confidence carrying forward to the remaining games of the competition?
I've said it before, and this is when you want to be playing your best ball, right? March is around the corner, March Madness, the magic of March, whatever adjective you want to use. You want to have that build-up stepping into your conference tournament, and I definitely feel like we're moving in that direction.
This Wednesday, you guys are honoring your seniors. It's a very experienced senior class. I think almost everyone's played at least 4 years already.
Calling everybody old on this team, huh?
But what has it been like having those players with all that experience this year and throughout all the great events?
It's been very beneficial from the standpoint of the message that they share with these guys. And not just the verbal message, right? It's the nonverbal message of guys going, hey, it went quick for me. Or hearing the guys talk about how senior day is coming up. Well, some of them, this will be their second senior day. Yeah, right, because they are older. But the freshmen, the sophomores, the juniors are able to look at them and go, wow, right? That could be me. That's going to be me one day, possibly. And so just having that, I think, speaks volumes to guys understanding that you have to be appreciative of all the opportunities that you get, because sometimes you don't get those opportunities, and that's life. I think the upperclassmen have bought into the power of urgency, knowing that it's coming to an end, right? And you have a little bit more appreciation for your journey. You have a little bit more appreciation for all the things that you've been through as a young man, and your growth and your development. And, it's going to be a flood of emotions at this game, right? We're going to run those guys out. We're going to run out our managers that are seniors, and That's going to be a lot of fun from the standpoint of having all of those guys recognized. And then we got to get refocused and get ready to play a game, right? So, I mean, we understand the dynamics of that, and, we want to, like I said, we want to celebrate them and recognize them, but we also got to set that to the side to a certain extent and focus in on Minnesota because, unfortunately, every team is somebody, I'll call it homecoming, I don't call it senior night, somebody's homecoming game at the end of the year, and you all have to go through that. So, for us, we need to make sure we get locked back in and ready to play.
Danny, you mentioned Jameson Battle earlier. What makes him such a tough cover? And after the way you guys defended E.J. Liddell this past Sunday, how much confidence does that give you guys that you can defend their biggest weapon?
Battle's different. They're both really good basketball players, first of all. Battle has probably done more on the perimeter than E.J. throughout his career. E.J. has really become a much better shooter from the perimeter later on in his career. Battle's been able to make some threes at an earlier stage in his career. His versatility, his size, his skill set presents a lot of challenges within the flow of their offense as they're one of their big guys. And so, meaning he gets a rebound and pushes it up in transition, no different than when Dante gets a rebound for Rush and pushes it up in transition. You're not always able to get to your assigned matchup at that point. So now all of a sudden maybe a guard is picking up Dante, and so now maybe the power forward has to rotate over and pick up Fats. So it creates a lot of problems to navigate in transition, especially with his versatility.